Humans have created thousands of meditation techniques throughout the millennia, not to mention countless yoga postures, asanas, specialized breathing or pranayama, and every conceivable variety of ritual or practice. If meditation is simply a cessation or a stopping, if it's simply coming to stillness, then why do we need so many techniques to achieve it? Why can't we just sit and wait for our mud to settle, as they teach in Zen? The truth is, we can just stop. We can surrender the activities of our character. However, as Einstein said, although reality is merely an illusion, it is a persistent one. It is this persistence of the illusion that makes it necessary for most people to penetrate into the unconscious mind. To stay awake, we have to purify the avatar of its samskaras, of its karma or its programming, so that the unconscious aspects of self are no longer driving the show. When I say purify, I don't mean that the avatar is somehow bad or negative. I simply mean that it is possible to disidentify a sense of self from it, and the disidentification process is what we call purification or cleaning. I'm cleaning myself of myself. Our sadhana is to unite all aspects of ourself so that we are not divided. We penetrate into the unconscious by creating conditions of no escape for the ego. Whether this is through long periods of meditation or self-inquiry, through intensive yoga, qigong, prayer or breath work, or fasting or chanting, or by taking entheogens which open us to the unconscious depths of the mind, we will naturally be drawn to different practices, techniques, and tools at different times on our path. Whatever the practice or technique is, the purification will happen as long as we are cultivating presence and equanimity, being here in the now, as well as surrendered to what is. Then we continue to unbind the karmic knots that create identification with our avatar. We let go of judging any sensation or thought as good or bad, always going deeper into the sensory field, always perceiving subtler and subtler phenomena, becoming so conscious of what is arising that there is a merging with the meditation object. We become the breath. We become the yoga posture. We become the chant. We become the avatar. In each case, merging with the pranic field in what is called Savikalpa Samadhi, or Samprajnata Samadhi, which is samadhi with a seed of pattern, a seed of form, a seed of conditioned mind activity, of karmic activity. So long as there is a seed of attachment, of unconscious mind activity, of separation between the inner and outer worlds, then the final goal will not be reached. Savikalpa Samadhi is a preliminary samadhi, also called jhana or dhyana. It is a burning up of karma within the self-structure, an energetic preparation of the vessel for the awakening of one's true nature, which is realized through non-doing, through a cessation of mind activity. Your mind is like a pond, and your thoughts are like waves or ripples upon that pond. To make a pond become still, what can you do? Anything you do will stir up more waves. You can't smooth it out or make it be still. The pond only comes to stillness when you have let go of all effort, all striving, all movement. Realizing the natural state is not something that you do. It is a recognition of what you are beyond the movement of the mind and senses. Who is moving the mind? Recognize who is choosing. It is only the mind itself that chooses. It is only the mind itself that moves. It is only the mind itself that wants to try to still the mind. Upon hearing these words, the limited mind will likely be disoriented, wondering, what do I do? Just allow that disorientation. Become aware of the true self. Become aware of awareness, conscious of consciousness. Stay with it until it alone becomes your reality. At the beginning, when you try to observe awareness, you will see only the false self, only the movements of the mind. When I say be aware of the true self, it is not a turning, it is not a movement. It is not like pointing a camera at a new object, but rather it is a giving up or a cessation of the interest or attachment to the movements of the mind. There are two main knots that bind us into identification with the false self. The body wants comfort, and the mind wants to know. The body is attached to sensations of pleasure and avoidance of pain. All sadhana or spiritual practice that leads to samadhi fundamentally involves two things. First, letting go of the duality of comfort and discomfort, and second, entering into a don't-know mind. Deep inner surrender, energetic surrender, and being thoughtlessly present, choicelessly aware. Socrates was considered the wisest person of his time. He's famous for the maxim, "I only know that I don't know." This is the Socratic paradox. Adopting a don't-know mind, a not-knowing mind, is the gateway to samadhi. Wait. Be still without hope, without thought, because hope would be based on some idea and would be keeping energy flowing into the conditioned mind. T.S. Eliot wrote, "I said to my soul, be still and wait without hope, for hope would be hope for the wrong thing. Wait without thought, for you are not ready for thought." The moment you have a hope, a motive, or a thought is the moment that you are again caught in the conditioned mind. In the Divine Comedy, Dante wrote of an inscription at the entrance to hell: "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." It is actually a very practical instruction. It would make a great reminder if it were posted on the doorway of every meditation center, ashram, church, or temple. Whatever your hope is, it is based on past conditioning. Hope is a kind of knowing that keeps the ego structure searching, seeking, and doing. When we engage in our sadhana, our spiritual practice that leads to Samadhi, then we must abandon all hope, all projections into the future, accepting that we don't even know what to hope for. This is a humbling for the ego. When we abandon hope, we also abandon fear. Hope and fear are the mind's projection into the future, the inner wiring that binds us to identification. Hope is craving. Fear is aversion. If we remain in the now, experiencing this moment as it is, then where is hope or fear? Our spiritual work is to excavate and unbind the knots that tie us to identification with our character. We move beyond comfort and discomfort, entering into the cloud of unknowing. We can do this both through formal practices and in day-to-day life. To meditate, to know yourself, is to burn in the now. To burn up your patterns, your preferences. And it is not something separate from your life. To be able to drop your pattern, your reactions and your judgments while you're in the midst of them, to drop the fight, is the deepest practice. This is the only fight that you win by giving up, by surrendering, by dying on the battlefield, willingly climbing onto the cross.